In this week's selection from the lectionary texts, I feel the trust of the psalmist coming through in Jesus' confidence. They both offer an example of determination in the face of challenge. They both invite a deep awareness of self so that the struggle of the day can be met willingly. For sure, the depth of the psalmist's trust in God echoes across the ages, throughout hymn after hymn. Indeed, it arises out of a context of profound pain. Prayers like this don't spring out of nowhere, after all. And for those of us hearing it now, we might have picked out phrases that hold particular meaning for the life we live in this moment. It breaks down really into three particular phrases pretty well. Praise. The Lord is my light and my salvation. In God I trust, in God I trust. Supplication. O Lord, hear my prayer. O Lord, hear my prayer. When I call, answer me. O Lord, hear my prayer. O Lord, hear my prayer. Come and listen to me. And ends with patience. Wait for the Lord, whose day is near. Wait for the Lord, be strong, take heart. This psalm is used in Jewish tradition as a recitation during the days of repentance. And though it doesn't actually speak to repentance and atonement, it offers us a way of preventing sin by dedicating the self to God's service. But much more than repentance, it's about confidence, knowledge of God's presence, and a declaration of our ability to overcome. No matter the fear or opponent, God is our courage. And in that, we have the power to stand up for what is right, to journey with all people on the way to God's realm. When the threat is real and present, this psalm reminds us that we can take heart. We can take the leap of faith that God is with us and waits with us, much as Jesus does in this short encounter with some helpful Pharisees in this selection from Luke. Whereas so much more often the inclusion of Pharisee is an antagonist for Jesus' ministry, here it is this group who warn, maybe in an attempt to hold the peace or to prevent the escalation of Jesus' disciples' gatherings or to scare him off from this path, or because they too were taken with his countercultural message of love and care first. But for whatever reason, they come to inform Jesus, who responds with an interesting glibness, "Go tell that fox." Maybe this even endeared him all the more to this group of Pharisees. He puts his calendar before him, confirms that the threat of Herod will do nothing to change his schedule. In fact, he doubles down on doing the specific health care equity work that he does, performing cures, casting out evil, helping people become whole mentally and physically, and does it without threat of violence. If, as he characterizes Jerusalem as the city that kills prophets, he clearly expects viciousness in his reception, but does not even consider to return that hateful rage with one of his own. He offers calm and compassion to even those who deny his leadership. And to these leaders, Jesus offers the management of the whole house of God. He says the house is left to you, to those same Pharisees, but also to the whole people. The people of Jerusalem he desires to gather under that mother hen wing. For that to happen, someone will have to carry on the work needed. In remaining faithful to God's call to the point of death, he planted a seed that would inspire millions to follow such a faithful journey. And yet, it is unfulfilled. Jesus cannot bring God's kingdom here to earth without co-creators who will do that work too, who will be strong in the face of injustice or mistrust, who will seek the voice of God that fills our hearts with courage. The house is left to you. One thing I think is important when we envision those who would continue the work Jesus began is that the co-creation of God's realm is left to those who would warn of coming danger as much as it is left to the journeying disciples who will become the teachers and leaders and voices of the tradition. From this, we can hear just how equally empowered each person is to offer God's mercy. If Jesus can leave the work to the Pharisee, we must look for allies and alliances even among those who don't actively scream support. We must be willing to judge the person by their own commitment to God's values and not by the labels they live with. The Messiah has more allies than you might imagine, and so do you. Recognizing that is how you prepare to welcome the one coming in the name of the God whose name is mercy. Seeking allies. Seeking companions to share the load, to take on each other's burdens. In the new kingdom of God, the blessed will not be those who come in the name of power and of strength, but rather those who come in the name of the humble and faithful God of all creation. This is strength. To trust and find those who come in God's name without the power plays or the status symbols. Wait for the Lord, whose day is near. The house has been left to us too, all these generations later. The house is ours to care for and to use to shine a light upon the good work of God in the world. God who surrounds us when we falter. The Lord is my light and my salvation. In God I trust, in God I trust. And with the might of God, we prepare to be mother hens, gathering the whole of creation under our wings, making safe and compassionate spaces for God to work miracles in us, to hear prayers, to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. The hen house is ours. So let us fill it with patience and presence and purpose. With confidence, Jesus marked a line and spoke love into the world, and we can do no less. Oh